Hi, I just want to show you a little bit about lines in Google Draw and what they mean. So let's say that I want to create a table. Let's say I want to align some shapes so that they're all of the same size and they're lined up properly and they're spaced properly. So if I go into shapes, and we'll make it square, so make it a little bit easier. So I do one square. Now the easy way to make these all the same is to copy and paste. But when you're moving them, sometimes they get shifted around, so it's always good to know what the lines mean. So I'm going to make a few shapes here. Okay, and they won't be the same size. So I can show you how to do this. Okay, so the first thing we're going to take a look at is the red line. Now the red line aligns the shapes to themselves as well as to the canvas. So for instance, I can see that as I move this little square, there's a red line that is, when I click and drag, there's this red line that goes straight down. And what that is, that's aligning the center of my shape with the center of the canvas. Okay, so that's my center. And if I drag it down, I can see that the red line going through the center of my shape horizontally is aligned with the center of one of the other shapes. If I drag it down further, that line going through the center of the canvas and the center of my shape is the other center line. So if I wanted this shape, this rectangle, to be dead center, I'd want to see those two lines going across the canvas. As I move it up, I can see the bottom lining up, the bottom of the shape and the bottom of the large square on the left and the bottom of my central rectangle. Okay, so all of these red lines mean that my shape is lining up with either the center or one of the edges of the other shapes and or the canvas. Okay, so that's how we can line it up. Now, so those are the red lines. The other kind of lines that you want to watch out for are the blue lines. And I'll show you what I mean. So let's say I want this shape to be exactly the same size as this one, this square and this square. I would drag my corner out. Okay, so that red line means it's lined up with the bottom of the right square. Okay, now it's that blue line indicates on the side that the left square is the same height as mine now. But I not only want it to be the same height, but I want it to be the same width. So I'm going to drag it to the right, still keeping those blue lines there until that shows up. Now that means that the bottoms of my figures are the same length and the height are the same length. So if I stop, now I have two squares that are the same size, and I can do the same with this one as well. So that's the one way that you can use the red lines and the blue lines to align all of your figures. So one more alignment trick to keep things aligned, right? Let's see. Okay, this is not the same size. There we go. All right, now, let's say I like the way these are and I don't want them to move. Okay, what I want to do, whether they're overlapping or whether they're spaced, if you want them to function as a unit, if I want to drag and drop one of these squares somewhere else on the canvas, and I want the other ones to follow right in line, then I need to attach them to each other, and this is the way I do it. You want to group them. So if you click on one so that it has a border, and you press Shift, and then go over and click on the next one, and click on the next one, you go up to Arrange. You want to arrange them as a group. Okay, did I do that? Yes. And now when I move them, they move as a unit. And if you click on them so you see this outline around all three, and you go up to Arrange, you can also ungroup. So now you can move them individually. Okay. So that's the other way that you can group your objects and make sure that they line up.